So, welcome to episode 2 of the British Cup podcast catch-up show. So, this week we've got one of our former champions of the Nora series. So, Brad Wheeler, how you doing?
Yeah, been better for sure. Sustained a shoulder injury a few weeks ago, so not ideal, but yeah, we're on the mend. Hoping to be back for the first round of the Bridgestone in the middle of March, but we definitely should be good to go for the start of the Nor Cup. So that's all that counts.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, Landrake last year, I remember seeing you trying to get those hole shots again, running the number one plate. You had a fairly good day down that, good weekend, apologies, didn't you, that weekend?
Yeah, it was the whole weekend was enjoyable as a whole. Yeah, we had good starts. Um, First race, I just before the little tabletop for the finish. For anyone that's been to Landrake, we had a bit of rain during the moto, and just the back end just missed the right, and I spun out, and then Don Newbury just like full pelt straight into the ankle, twisted it right round, which kind of put a bit of a dampener on the weekend. Was a bit sore for the rest of the weekend, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. Not the way I wanted to start the title defence. But
No.
it was it was a good weekend. I enjoy racing Landrate. I like the track, so yeah, I'm looking forward to going back there for the first round this year. And it's over the bank holiday, it's nice to get to spend a day down the beach with the family and sort of make the most of the whole scene really.
Oh, no, it's good, isn't it? I mean, obviously you're still actively racing, but you're a family man now as well. So I guess it's a good weekend that you get to bring the family down with you.
Yeah, I mean, we all enjoy doing it. My wife's brother and sister and other sister, all their kids race, and majority of them are signed up to it as well. So, yeah, it is a real sort of a family outing, and yeah, like I said, we sort of head down Friday after work, and then we got the whole day Saturday to mooch about down the beach. Kids can build some sandcastles and have a mess around and sort of do the family side of things, and then we go racing Sunday, Monday, and then
And
the long drive home. But it's a good weekend. I think it's a brilliant track to start the series. Um, like you kind of mentioned on the first pod, you sort of drive in there, and there's a spectacle made of it. You sort of go in the gate, and you can see 95% of the track really, and it all looks good. But like it's a good. I think the start straight is probably one of the fairest starts in the country. You can kind of get a start from anywhere on the line. So
yeah,
yeah, I think it's a great track for the first round.
good. Yeah, no, I'm pleased at that. I mean, obviously we'll talk a little bit about last year. You do owe me a voice box because Marshfield, I was stood on the inside at the first corner of the first race where SG Racing put up the 50 quid all shot money. And it looked like Luke Dean was going to grab it, and then all of a sudden, this blue Yam number one plate just appeared one-handed across the line. So yeah, that was a good
Yeah,
start to your weekend at Marshfield, wasn't it?
yeah. I mean, he picked me to it in the first two rounds, and I couldn't let him have it again. It's either I was getting it or we were both going down type thing. I couldn't
Yeah,
let him have it for the third time in a row. So yeah, after he pinched me to it the first two rounds, I had to throw a little bit of spice on it. So yeah, chuck the one hander up just to rub some salt in the wound. And but yeah, I mean, I've raced against Luke my whole racing career, and we've got a good competitive relationship, and we know neither of us are going to do anything like too ridiculous, but we're not afraid to exchange some paint for sure.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I got privileged to line up between the two of you once down at Little Silver. Um, and you two were gone, and it was good to watch because you were battling for the front positions, and like you said, you got a good competitive relationship. It was safe. It was good for the spectators to see as well. So yeah, no, it's great. So going into 25, obviously now we've gone from 3 rounds up to 4. What's your thoughts on that? You quite happy that there's an extra additional round this year?
Yeah, I really enjoy doing the national events, be it the Bridgestone or the Nora Cup. I like the format they both run with the with the qualifying and 2 races Saturday and then 2 races on the Sunday. I like doing qualifying. It gives you a good amount of time to learn the track rather than just having 3 laps of practice and then 5 races, which I think by the fifth race everyone's kind of over it and doesn't is not really interested anymore. So I think having sort of 15, 20 minutes qualifying is a good sort of way to for everyone to sort of just to build into the weekend. Really, I think.
Yeah,
And yeah, I've obviously the Bridgestone 6 rounds, so yeah, this makes it up to a nice even 10. And
yeah,
yeah, four decent tracks, four good tracks. I was trying to get a bit of sand practice in over the winter. We were having a pretty good winter, really. Managed to ride most weekends, and but yeah, kind of bit me the last time we went out a couple of weeks ago. But like I said, hopefully we'll be back fit and strong for the first round. Fingers
yeah.
crossed.
Well, what's good also is you've probably seen it advertised, but the British Cup doesn't clash with Bridgestone or the British Youth. So, like now with an injury, if you do miss the first Bridgestone, for example, you've still got a bit of time to prepare yourself for the British Cup, haven't you, in May?
Yeah, I think yeah, obviously they've Carl and that at the Nora Cup have worked closely with Colin and Julie at the Bridgestone to make sure that that everyone can do all 3 of their series and yeah, not have any clashes, which is the real challenge in British motocross at the moment, just with the amount of series that there is.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I really like the Bridgestone. Like I said, it's one of my favourites to do. So the fact that it doesn't clash with the Nora Cup, which is also one of my favourites to do, is ideal, really. And
yeah,
yeah, just the Nora Cup is obviously it's a lot newer than the rest of them, but I've known Carl for quite a long time, and yeah, just the guys running it, they're willing to listen to what people have got to say and willing to try different things, which is ultimately what you want from a series is to be able to grow it. So yeah, I think they're in a good position.
yeah, definitely. I mean, they've got some good sponsors on board for 2025. They're all putting their trust and their faith into Carl and Lawson and Johnny and the team. And like you say, we've only got a short space of time in the UK to get all these meetings in, haven't we? So I think they've been spread out quite evenly. It's good that they're working with others. There's no clashing. It gives everybody the opportunity to win some British titles. I mean, you're no stranger to a British title either, are you? You've got is it the 252 stroke?
Yeah, so yeah, I won the um, British Open Two-Stroke Championship in 2019, the ACU one, and then yeah, the 2023 Nora Cup in the Adult A. I think it's called, or it was called back then. And yeah, then I won the service and a few other little things. Bridgestone back before it was the Bridgestone, it was the British Masters, and yeah, it's always good to win any win any form of sort of national title. So
Yeah,
um, yeah, any number one plate looks good on the bike in my eyes.
yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, what's the choice of bike this year for the series?
So back on the Yamaha have been they've been good to us the last sort of couple of years with like through MX Vice. They've given us a bike to do all of our product testing and things like that on. And yeah, they've been good enough to give us a 25 bike with a few GYTR parts to test out as well. So yeah, we'll be on a 2025 YZ 450, which is sat in the garage at the moment, looking at me. So sooner I can get back on the bike, the better. But yeah, we've got a fresh one ready to go for when we are back on.
Ah, brilliant, brilliant. So obviously the additional round this year, we're going up to Preston Docks. Have you ridden that place much?
Not too much. A little bit over sort of the last sort of 10 years, I'd say. Probably, I think 2013 was probably the first time I went there. That was with the British Masters.
Yeah,
Um, done a few service meetings there and MX Nationals, but not a crazy amount of times. It's not my favourite place in the world, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I tried to put a lot of effort into the winter this year. I've been up to Fat Cat and places like that just to try and get a bit more comfortable in the
Yeah,
sand. So hopefully this time off hasn't really completely made that a waste of time. And by the time we get to round two, we should be back to pretty much 100%. And still the sand practice in the winter hopefully still will play a little bit of dividends. I mean, I'm not going there saying I'm Jeffrey Hurlins by no stretch, but just to sort of make sure that I'm in the fight, if you know what I
yeah,
mean. Like I just want to put good points on the board in races where there's going to be a lot of guys, probably wildcard riders as well, up there that just live on that track, and they're not the people that I'm looking to beat. I want to make sure I beat the people that are signed up to the series,
yeah,
but they're no slouches either. So yeah, just wanted to make sure that I don't hemorrhage a bunch of points because yeah, Oakhanger for the Bridgestone last year was an absolute disaster. Just came in well underprepared, rode like an absolute novice, and
yeah,
yeah, really just completely messed the whole championship up before it got started. Really, so yeah,
yeah,
just make sure I don't want to do that again. Really.
yeah. That's fair enough. And I mean, round three, we're back to Cullum again. Cullum's
Yeah,
an iconic track. It's been on a lot of calendars, hasn't it, over the years?
yeah. It's again. I never really used to be a massive fan of Cullen, but the last year or two I've had really good results there, so kind of turned that tide a little bit. And yeah, I've managed to find a good flow around Cullen the last couple of years. So hopefully I can pick that back up. I mean, I won the Bridgestone there this year. Had some good rides at the Nora Cup um, last year as well. We had Jamie Carpenter and Ben Musto turned up, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
So obviously two real quick British riders, and yeah, it wasn't really a million miles off of their pace, so was pretty happy with that. And yeah, it's an all weather track as well, so yeah, I mean we're in the UK, so like it doesn't really matter if it's February or June.
it could be
It
wet,
could
it could be
be
dry.
it could be yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
I do prefer it when it's a little bit wetter at Cullum. I think it just rides a little bit better when it's dry. It's just a little bit edgy and sketchy, so it is good to have a little bit of rain at Cullum.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to moan if it's if it's sunny.
No, 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 no. Bit less washing to do, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's good. And then obviously we're going to wrap it up at the final round back at the original Marshfield circuit.
Yeah,
That's a fairly local one for you as well, isn't it, Marshfield?
yeah. Marshfield's about 20-25 minute. Logged a lot of laps around Marshfield over the years, on all different layouts, just through racing Corsham and training schools and yeah, just all sorts of things. Yeah, I've done a few laps around Marshfield, so I feel comfortable around Marshfield. Um, and
You
yeah,
definitely
no
know your
matter
way up.
who,
I was going to say you
yeah,
definitely know the way up the start straight, don't you?
yeah. So I like the conditions at Marshfield, hard pack. Um, so yeah, it's a good round for us to end on. Like you said, it's local as well, so it's nice to nice to finish the championship and then get home at a nice reasonable time, hopefully with a pocket full of cash as well. But
Yeah,
yeah, and obviously it's Carl and Lawson's sort of main racetrack. They put a lot of effort into that track as well, and they've put a lot of effort into it over the last sort of 3 to 4 years, making it what it is. For people that moan about it now, saying it's hard pack, you should have ridden it back in sort of like 2010, 2011, because it was like the road driving it, and it was proper
yeah,
old school blue groove. Um, so yeah, I mean, you got to give credit to Carl and Lawson because they've done a real good job sort of with crushing the stones and bringing dirt in and changing the layout just because so it's not been the same for the last 10, 15 years. And yeah, and like I said, they're willing to listen to the riders and try different things. So I think Marshfield is a very underrated track at the moment.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, I think a lot of other championships just kind of look at using it because you've got the big paddock, you've got the great viewing for the most part up on that hill, and
yeah,
it's kind of easy access from the motorway. So I think it is a very underrated venue. And
Yeah,
yeah, like I said, a great place to finish the series.
yeah, no, that's great. That's great. So, I mean, we're pleased that you're coming back again this year. It's always good to see you there. Um, what is the ultimate goal this year then? Is it to try and win every round, or just sort of stay
Well, yeah, I
consistent
mean
to the end?
the goal every time I line up is to win. If that's every race, then brilliant. If that's every round, then brilliant. Obviously, the overall goal is to win the championship. Um, but like I'm a racer, so I want to win every time I line up, no matter where I'm lining up. So yeah, that's the goal is to win. Um, but like I said, I'm not. The end goal is the championship. If I got to break my neck to try and win one of the races that I don't need to win, then
Yeah,
I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I mean, we're not racing for a world championship at the end of the day. It's
no,
we're not going to try and do anything ridiculous. But yeah, the goal is obviously to win, especially after I obviously won it in 23 and was second the year before, second this year just gone. So yeah, I'd like to like to get another one chucked up on the wall if
yeah.
possible.
So, I mean, like you said, you're injured at the moment, but pre-injury to you're a former winner of the series and runner-up last year. What type of training are you doing to prepare yourself for the series?
I was just trying to get as much bike time in as I could, really. The last few years, just my riding through the winter has just kind of been a bit just chilled out, really. Just kind of ridden when it's been dry, which is like never in this
Yeah,
country in the winter. So it was maybe riding sort of 5 or 6 times between the last round and the first round, which just isn't really going to get the job done. When you've got everyone going to Spain and Dunkirk and wherever. The budget doesn't stretch to red sands these days, so it was just a case of trying to do as much riding in the UK as possible. So yeah, like up to Fat Cat and wherever else was open. Really, up until the injury, we were pretty lucky with the weather. So there was a
yeah,
Thornbury MX had something on for most weekends. Really,
yeah,
um, I was booked in to do Hawkstone the weekend just gone, which I was really wanted to do just to get some gate drops really, and just I knew the track would be absolutely savage, so it would have been good to do like two solid 25 minutes around a track like that. Would have been good bike time really more than anything. But yeah, just my training don't really change too much in the winter. Just trying a bit of cardio, a bit of weight training, nothing too drastic. I mean, I'm going to work from 7 till 4:30, and then got three little ones to attend to. So I I I'd like at the end of the day, I'd rather come home from work and spend the 3 hours with them than go to the gym. So
yeah.
um, yeah, I try and get to the gym in the morning before I start work. But sometimes the alarm goes off at like 5 o'clock, and you're just like, nah, not today.
Not happening
But
there.
yeah, just I try and be like realistic with it, um, and yeah, the biggest thing for me this year was to just ride the bike as much as I could through the winter. I knew that was the reason I was not ready last year. So that was the big thing for me, was just to ride the bike and try and ride in the sand as
Yeah,
much as I could, really. And it was going really well. It was like I felt really strong, really comfortable on the bike. It was just one of those weird crashes. Just came down the hill, front just tucked, and yeah, just went over the front and smashed the shoulder to bits.
yeah,
Um, but I've got a scan next Thursday, and fingers crossed the bone should be pretty much healed, and then it's just a case of how quickly I can strengthen the muscles back up. Really, just it was dislocated for 6 hours in total, so the muscles are pretty knackered by the time they put it back in.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, it's going to be it is definitely going to be touch and go for the first round of the Bridgestone. But
yeah.
like I said, for the first round of the Nora, we should be pretty much almost back to 100%.
No, brill, brill. So, just one last question, because I know you've got a lot of stuff to do still, and like you say, you're working from 7 in the morning onwards. So, when you're going riding, this is a question that we're going to ask different people. What is your go-to song that you listen to?
Probably the worst person to ask this to be honest. Um, well, I mean, if we're going riding at the moment, it's um, for anyone who's been to any holiday resorts in Spain, like actual holiday resorts, not like a motocross holiday resort. If there's a kids song called Choo Choo Wah, and yeah, that's pretty much flat out in the van from the moment we get in to the moment we get to the track. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably the music that we listen to the most on a race day, on going to a race. But in terms of sort of getting ready, um, I like to I like to sleep. Like I go out for qualifying and then I come back in. I'll go check over the bike, make sure everything's ready to go, and then I'll go and have a little look at the track. The missus will then like take the kids over with her family, and I'll get my head down for like 10 minutes. Just I don't know, even just like the 10 minutes just really helps me before I go out, and then I'll sort of just sit in the caravan, just put just put the telly on in the background, and sort of do my goggles and get ready.
yeah,
Um, just to sort of stay a little bit chilled out. Really, I don't want to get too excited because like you get all pumped up at your van, you got to go down, and you're sitting in the paddock for 10, 15 minutes, and then you ride around to the line, then it's another 10 minutes, and then like fucking out, you're just exhausted. Before sorry for swearing,
yeah.
you're exhausted before you
Get on the line.
before the gates even drop. So I just try and stay pretty chilled out as
Yeah.
best I can. So don't try and don't try and listen to a load of hype up music really if I can help it.
No, I mean Landrake. I won't be able to help myself. It's a Landrake tradition. We have a bit of
Yeah,
deluge
yeah, yeah,
sandstorm. It,
yeah.
it's got to be done on it down that place.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that because I know sort of, well, I know there's about to be a race to start, so I can look see what race is out, and I can go over and watch the gate and sort of check how long they're holding the board for and things like that. But so I don't have an issue with you playing Sandstorm. If you want to do it all rounds, that's fine by me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
good.
you won't catch me with my headphones on listening to any music. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Well, Brad, like I said, we're really pleased that you're back again for 25. Um, we can't wait to start in May down at Landrake. Obviously, you'll have the number two plate on. Are you this year for that one?
No, I don't run number two plates. Only number one or number 15.
So it's
So
back to
I'm
the 15 then, is
back to
it?
15. Yeah, back to 15.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, fingers crossed we can turn that back to a number one at the end of the year. We'll have a few chats, I expect, through the season, hopefully on the
Yeah,
podiums.
yeah.
Um,
Fingers crossed.
yeah, and go from there. So, but Brad, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
Um,
no pleasure.
really appreciate it. Guys, don't forget, like, subscribe to the channel. We're going to do some more interviews. We're going to get the parents on as well, get the whole vibe going of what goes on in the background. Brad, I guess you subscribed already, have you?
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Subscribed.
So
Alarm bell.
we got part two of Carl coming up in a few weeks as well. So yeah, it'd be good. But no, again, thanks again, Brad, and we will see you in May.
Yeah, we'll see you there. Nice one.
Thanks,
Cheers, buddy.
thanks, mate.
Thanks,
Cheers.
mate.